Hey everyone, welcome back to Taproot TV. I'm Benna Hughes and I'm here today with Ken Reed, and we are going to do a review. It's kind of a mid-year review. The year is almost, it's over half over.
Don't even say that. I can't believe we lost half a year already. So.
It's over half over. And I mean, it's just gone by so fast.
It really has.
I mean, it's just flying by.
And
so
you're
rest
probably
of the
feeling
year,
that also at your companies, right? How fast things have been moving, right? So.
Yeah, so one of the things we're going to do today is do like a little mid-year review, kind of go over a few points that you probably should be looking at to make sure your program is where it needs to be, see if there's anything you need to plan for the rest of the year.
Any adjustments you might need to make in your plans and your investigation processes. So.
Yeah, hopefully you haven't had to investigate anything, but if you have.
Right, nothing big, I hope. Hopefully you're doing a lot of small stuff.
The small stuff,
That's
exactly.
Right.
Well, let's take a look at a few of these points. One of the things we want you to do is take a look at your team. Are all your team members still in place? Has anybody gone to a new division or a new company?
Right. It's amazing how many times you get people trained up and you have a really good team. It's well-oiled, doing everything they're supposed to do, and then somebody leaves or they get promoted and end up in a different job position. So it's really good to take a look at your team members. Do I have enough 5-day people?
Yes, very important.
That's a big one. And make sure you've got a couple of those experts at least that are available to help you out. So
if you have any equipment troubleshooting you need to do, is your Equifactor person still there?
That's right. Did your investigation team needs a little bit of tweaking with evidence collection?
Yes.
Right. So you can maybe take a look at an evidence collection course or something.
Yeah,
like
we got those supplemental courses that can help you. Regarding the 5-day course, we do recommend everybody has at least one or two. We prefer more than one. Some companies are really great out there that they have everybody trained in the 5-day.
Right.
And that's fantastic, but we know not everybody can do that. So just make sure you have those champions on your team so they can be the person that kind of helps along the way if things get stuck.
Yep.
The next thing is looking at the quality of the investigations you're doing.
Right. It's always good to take a look. Maybe those 5-day people are the people that would do this review. Take a look at your investigations and see if you're comfortable with the quality of your snap charts. Are we gathering the right information? Are we reviewing, having somebody do a review of the root cause trees as people do the root cause analyses? Have we gone through and had somebody do a quality check on those? And if you have, that's great. This is a good point now to get together and do a little review on what you found on those checks. If you're not doing that, this might be a good time to do that.
Very good time to do that. And you have some of those people out there that you could do an incident review and with your peers, and some of those people who haven't been involved in any kind of investigating at this point, whether for auditing or just kind of going in and trying to take care of those little things, bring them in, make sure that their methodology is still where it needs to be. Yeah. So everybody can, and we can help with that.
No, absolutely. If you need us to, we can set up a quick webinar, a phone call, and just kind of sit down with you and do a quick review of your system and see if what you think you're doing and is kind of in line with our best practices that we see. So.
Yeah, it's important to both our companies to make sure that quality stays where it is. We don't want you to be frustrated at anything, and we want you to have top-notch investigations. So we're here to help with that. Are you doing enough investigations? What is that trip point?
Yeah, a lot of companies in your investigation policies, we have trip points set up that says, any lost time injury requires a taproot investigation or any equipment damage over a certain amount. And the reason you do those trip points is so that you know when something happens when you need to do the investigations. The other reason you do these trip points, though, is to make sure that your investigators are not either overwhelmed with too many investigations or they're only doing 1 or 2 a year, which isn't enough.
No.
So you need to do your trip points have those set so that you have just the right number of investigations. Your investigators should be doing something once a month. So if you're finding on your 6-month review here that most of your investigators only did 1 investigation in the past 6 months.
And some didn't do anything.
Yeah. It's maybe time to lower those trip points, maybe get the team members together more often and have, instead of 1 person do an investigation, maybe have 2.
Yeah, have somebody shadow someone.
That's right.
Yep.
So this is a great point to evaluate that. Am I doing the right number of investigations?
Sometimes if you get more than 1 person working on an investigation, you can find out where maybe you've got some fogginess in that methodology and the terminology and those kind of thing. So
that
suddenly,
quality check, right?
yes, that's your quality check. And
Yeah.
is everybody on the same page? If they're not, maybe give us a call.
Yeah.
When we can do refreshers, because we want to keep it top notch for you.
Right.
What software are you a software user, and what software are you on? We're on 6.5.3, I think, and we're getting ready to move to
6.6.
6.6.
A pretty major update's coming out. Yeah,
Yeah.
the next month or so we'll have another update out.
And there are some companies out there that are not on the most recent software,
Right.
and you should be. It's great. All these changes that our IT department and our software developers are making are just fantastic, and you're going to want to be a part of that. And sometimes what we're finding is some IT departments and companies are overwhelmed. They don't have time to do this.
They have a lot of stuff going on. I understand IT departments. I watch ours. They are just full bore all the time. So it's quite possible that they just didn't realize there's an update out. We send emails out and let you know. But they may not realize there's an
Or they've had to
update
put it
out.
on the back burner because of other things. And if that's the case, and I have talked to some companies where that's kind of been the case for them, we have a hosting service that you can utilize. And that is, your IT department doesn't have to worry about it anymore.
we pretty much do all the updates for you. We give you a call and say, are you ready for an update? And they say, yeah, go ahead and implement, and boom, it's done. So there's really not much you need to do. So it makes the hosting's a great option if you have a really kind of a swamped IT department to take some of that load off of them.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes it's less expensive for them to do it that way, too.
It's amazing how many times that comes up. We talk to a company and they say, oh, my goodness, we got a host. It's so much cheaper doing it that way.
Yeah, so that's something to look at. Make sure you're on the right version of the software.
Right.
Do you have an information management system? And if so, is it... Check with us, because we have an API now that we can help integrate with different companies. Intellex and Enable-On are the main ones we do, but we can do it with other companies as well.
Dan assures me that we can integrate with pretty much anything. Yes. That's what he says. So,
I've not seen him run across one yet that he's really had any trouble with.
No, there's some legal paperwork we need to sign with these partner companies that we work with, but the actual physical programming and whatever those guys do over there, that's the easy part, quite honestly, from our perspective. It's Dan, with this new API system we have set up with our software, it's pretty easy to get integrated with new software. So,
definitely something to look at. I've talked to a few companies lately that are actually in the process of changing the information management system they're with. So let us know that, and it may be one we're already set up with that we can integrate, or it may be one we need to work out something with. Lessons learned.
Yeah, so the whole purpose of doing these investigations is to improve and get the word out to your people. So your 6-month review here may be a great time to see, how is our lessons learned program working? Are other facilities getting the word? And are we documenting it properly? Are we tracking these lessons learned? And companies oftentimes think that they're putting this out and their people are getting it. And then they go down and talk to the person down on the rig floor, and he hasn't heard about that before.
About it.
Yeah, so maybe this is a great time to do a quick audit and do a check of your lessons learned program. Make sure you're getting the most benefit from these investigations.
Oh, absolutely.
You're putting time and effort into investigating. You certainly don't want the corrective actions to just be sitting out there and not getting done.
Right, and then suddenly hear that this happened in another part of your company.
That's extremely frustrating when that happens.
Yeah, and costly, and it could be dangerous.
Could be dangerous.
We definitely don't want that to happen. Lastly, the thing we're going to talk about is it's time to start planning your budget for the summit. Plan for your courses too, but the summit will be here. Obviously, this year's flown by so fast. This first half of the year, that next thing you know, it's going to be March, and we're going to be in Texas again, and we're going to be holding the summit.
Holding the summit again. So you don't want to wait until February to start planning your March summit. So now's the time to start thinking about, do I have a budget all set up?
Yes.
Budgeting comes up. Usually most companies are doing it in the fall, getting their budgets set up. So now is the time to be thinking about getting that fall budget set up and getting your summit people in.
Yeah,
there. So.
determine who's the right people to come to the summit. a common misconception is that this is for certified instructors. If it's a company that has certified instructors, they tend to, our lessons learned have been, that we get to the summit and they don't realize that it's for everybody who's been trained in Taproot. And we have companies that'll bring 10 to 12 people.
Absolutely. A lot of companies use this as a reward, for as you do your 6-month evaluation here and see who's doing really good investigations, this might be a reward for them to send them to Austin and come to the summit and learn more and get even more proficient at doing the systems.
Well, when we have those teams come in, it's just so much more bang for the buck because they get to go to different breakout sessions. It's an amazing team event for them. They can get together, talk about their program, learn from others. If they come to the pre-summit, they can break out into different pre-summits. So the amount of knowledge that comes back to your company after that week is just tremendous.
And we can put a room together for them for if you want to meet for an hour or so and make that like your annual safety meeting and meet for a quick hour to get everybody together. We can get a room for you to do that. So it's very simple to do at the summit. But planning a summit, now's the time to think about that.
I think it's is it the 9th or 13th?
I think that's right.
I think so.
I'm not planning for the summit yet. It's too far out.
I
need to get the dates in my head. But.
We'll be getting more information out to you really soon. You can go to our website and see what's going on. We're updating it all the time and adding sessions and what's going on. I think some of our keynotes may be up there. But we're planning on getting registration going really quickly this year. And so you can start planning. And we hope to see you at Horseshoe Bay Resort in March. All right. Well, I think that's it. I feel like I need to go and do some reviews myself after all of this.
These 6-month reviews, at least annual, but I recommend semi-annual reviews. Annual for sure, but I think this is a great point to just kind of reset a little bit, take a look at where you're at. And these are just some great ideas, I think, to kind of get you going on that kind of a review.
All right. Well, thanks, Ken. Thanks for all of your input that you always have. He's one of these guys that can help you if you get a little foggy on stuff. We've got some calls this week, don't we?
We sure do.
Yeah. So thank you so much for joining us. We'll meet you back here next week. Have a good week. Thanks.